Absolutely. Well, my name is Yabba and I'm so excited to be here commentating on the Catane League Finals this evening. And welcome everyone aboard.
Thanks, this is Moon. I was fortunate enough to be a participant in the earlier rounds of the tournament, and I'm glad to be commentating here tonight as well.
Exactly. Well, the competition today is between two really interesting teams today. Team 4-2, the perfect 21-0 team, against the Dream Team, 17-4, and for them, the dream is still very much alive.
And it's really interesting the makeup of these two teams. On Dream Team, you have Ash the Bash, Catnip, Elias, and Zakil, who are sort of largely made up of OGs. Ash the Bash actually made piano keys in some of the earlier modules. And on Team 4-2, we have Big Little of Me, Draket, Rex Kicks, Riking, and Epicness.
Exactly. Well, Rex is one of the old guard as well, certainly, so he'll be the veteran
For
presence
sure.
on that team for sure. Maybe some others I'm missing as well, although I'm not one of the veterans around here. Moon, you certainly have, though, and you've been around since the very beginning, so I'll appreciate any help I can get with that this evening.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I'm really excited to see these two teams, face off. I think they're really great players and really worthy of this spot in the finale.
That's for sure.
And just so you know, I did say that there were five people on Team 4-2, but each team could only field one diffuser and three experts at one
Mm-hmm.
time. So there'll only be four people per team on each bomb.
Right. So, for example, if my notes are correctly, that we didn't have epicness on Team 4-2, if I understand that correctly.
That's my understanding as well. Yeah.
So, yeah, he's an interesting expert, though. I mean,
Um,
epicness is a good expert in and of itself. So the fact that he's the alternate, look out.
for sure. And on the bombs we're going to be seeing, each team actually chose a sort of a set of modules that could appear on the bomb. And so each bomb we're going to see is a different breakdown of modules from each team's set of chosen modules.
Exactly right. I mean, the number of mods that are growing just in Catane that you can download on your very own computer right after you watch this, in fact, are just in the, what is it? We're on to now almost 300 mods in total. I mean, that's kind of like modules, needy modules, widgets you could potentially get. But each team actually has a set of 20 modules that they've picked. And a certain number of those will appear on each bomb. They also have the ability to veto. It was one veto originally for each team on another person's list. But now this evening, it will be two vetoes apiece. So that's what they'll have to work with here.
And it's interesting what teams decided to pick to put on their list. Is it things you're really good at, or things you think are going to stump or be tricky for the other team to do? It's a lot of strategy that goes into making that list.
Exactly. So I guess it'll be. Let's go over the format of the evening first of all. So the first bomb will be. There'll be 10 modules, and there will be 5 modules from each team's list. That'll be the first one we'll see this evening.
Right.
And I keep saying this evening. I'll get over that. And they're going to get the same bomb, just about crucially, with a few exceptions that we'll bring up. But for the most part, it is the same bomb. And there was basically a mission they downloaded, and they played it on their own time, and we're seeing it live here, side by side, so that you can witness the drama for your very own self.
Right. And we haven't seen these either, so we'll be seeing it for the very first time too.
Exactly. And then on the bomb 1 is 5 and 5, and then bombs 2 and 3 will be weighted. So Dream Team will get 7 on 1, and Team 4-2 will have 3 modules on that second bomb. It's either the second or the third, actually. I confess I've forgotten.
I think that's right.
Flip for the other way around on the third bomb. And it's best 2 out of 3, and the way it'll be scored is whoever solves more modules is the winner, and if both teams solve their bombs, quicker time is the winner. It's as simple as that.
That's right. And I think what we should talk about now is the vetoes you mentioned earlier that each team had. I think we could talk about what each team vetoed from the other team's list of modules. So the Dream Team vetoed Lego and Dragon Energy.
Oof. Yeah, those.
Which I can't blame them for that.
Two very obvious hard hitters in that one. Lego requires a keen spatialization, and you're given pages of ways the bricks have to stack, and you might have to flip it in 3 dimensions in your head. Well, it's either rotations or viewing it top to bottom, and it's a dastardly one. Dragon Energy, on the other hand, is literally Chinese characters, and either you really know them or you really don't. It's tough to like explain on the fly, and then there's a complicated Venn diagram involved. Not surprised that if they're not on board with like encountering a module that difficult, not surprised to see it vetoed now.
And so speaking of things that are sort of hard to visualize and understand on the fly, I think X-Ray, which 4-2 vetoed Dream Team's X-Ray, I think perhaps for a similar reason, your expert really, or your diffuser rather, has to be really keen on seeing those images that come through. And if you're not very familiar with them, they might stump you or get you tripped up for a little bit.
X-ray definitely is much easier if you know the shapes offhand. It's shape recognition as it passes through a one-dimensional slit, and if you know it offhand, you have a much easier time of it. If you don't, then you could seriously lose time here, and time is money in this competition in these Catane League finals. So if the diffuser in particular is not as confident with X-ray, get rid of it.
And the last module that Team 4-2 vetoed was Cruel Piano Keys, which, as the name suggests, are quite cruel. That was also a module that Ash the Bash created. So perhaps it's not surprising that they maybe vetoed it to stop Dream Team from having an advantage from Ash's musical knowledge.
Exactly. So that's the vetoes for this. And other than that, we got some let's have a look here. So Team 4-2 has some real heavy hitters on their list right now. So they've got Lights Out Needy, which isn't that big, but then there's what do we have here? The Cube, Tax Returns, the Jewel Vault, all very long modules, which can easily be done. Is it
Lightspeed too?
Yeah, Lightspeed. They can take a while if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, certainly I expect Dream Team is going to do well with those modules as well, but clearly 4-2 is going to be really confident with those. And if you have spent time with those modules, you can definitely gain a huge time advantage having those on your list there.
There's also a Forget Everything. And if that comes up, I mean, that's really going to be a major thing to keep track. Besides the Forget Me Not, which they also have on the list, but the Forget Everything is really going to require a lot of back and forth and constant communication.
Exactly. So Forget Me Not and Forget Everything are two modules where you have to look at it every single time you solve a module, because every time it's solved, the display changes, and one of the experts, the designated expert, has to take down the information every single time. Now, Forget Everything, aside from having that multitasking, there's just more pieces to juggle, and again, it's one of those things where familiarity with the module can take you a long way, because it's complicated to get the information off that module, the Forget Everything module in particular.
They also have a Gridlock on their list, which I think is tough in that it requires a lot of back and forth between the diffuser and the expert, so that diffuser might be tied up for a long period of time, and it might be difficult for them to, say, work on something else with one of their other two experts on the team.
Yeah, or with interactive modules like that especially, you might want to like give one of your other experts or your other experts just a lot of work, keep them busy, and then you play Gridlock back and forth, interacting with one of your experts. Of course, Gridlock's also a good one to get into a pattern with. If you can get the cadence down and just say like, here's the color, next, here's the coordinate, go this way. If you get into that rhythm, then you can gain an advantage that way.
So something interesting that I'm noticing is that both teams had Forget Me Not, Silly Slots, and maybe one other one, and Gridlock on their list. So both teams actually had the Gridlock and Forget Me Not on their list of modules that were going to be on there. So both teams, we should expect a good deal of familiarity and preparedness in handling those should they come up.
Exactly. And it'll also be interesting if like one of those modules actually is rolled on the bomb, one of the 10 modules that appears on these bombs. Then that'll might negate the advantage. For example, if it's on like one of the team's advantage bombs, one of the 7 modules versus 3 module bombs, where one team has the advantage. But if their 7 is one of the ones that the other team has anyway, that advantage might be lessened. So we'll see. A little random number generation here and there, but nonetheless, I'm sure. But again, these bombs are identical, so it'll be mostly skill. And I love duplicate tournaments like this. I'm curious to see them side by side.
So in the first bomb we're going to see tonight, I think we're only going to be hearing audio from one of the teams. I I think it's Team 4-2.
It'll be Team 4-2 that we hear first, then Dream Team for the second one, and both for the third. And we'll be sure to get out of the way and allow you guys to hear the communication as well. So
Absolutely.
We're doing a lot of the talking now, but as we get into the bombs, you'll hear them discuss. You'll hear them literally talk their way through the bombs, as the title suggests. And we'll come in every now and again with commentary to help some of you understand what's going on. And otherwise, we hope you enjoy. Thanks, Elias. Thank you very much.
How the fuck did you find my channel? And
here we go.
Welcome to the league, the last bomb.
Welcome to the end of the league.
Hi, Daniel. You may be one of the only people to watch this.
Doing the bomb. It's launched. Nothing interesting, dog? Forget me not. Forget me not.
All right, the lights are on, and we're now side by side.
In 2 holders. Lit CLR, DVI, RJ, RCA.
Both teams inspecting the bomb, always starting with the edge work. That's the batteries, the ports, and the indicators.
And a code of Uniform Hotel 6 Tango 1. This is going to be the first Forget Me Not. Stage 1 is a 3.
Okay, they're all taking note of the Forget Me Not for the stage 1.
There's 2 Forget Me Nots, actually. One on the front and one on the back. Ooh, make sure
that's going to be
the
very confusing.
Duplicate module is certainly interesting.
Alpha. Rex, please do gamepad.
So we're inspecting the front side of the bomb here. The front side of the bomb with the timer is going to be Battleship, Fizzbuzz with the numbers, and gamepad with the green digital numbers there.
1872.
Jewel Vault. So this one actually takes a long time just to move the pieces around. So it'll be interesting how they decide when and how to do that. It looks like they might be going for it right now on the Dream Team side. And I think I can't tell if on Team 4-2 we have someone soloing Battleship or if, they're getting some help from their comrades, but it looks like, the diffuser is just handling it themselves, which is certainly a plus in saving time on this type of competition.
Well, 4-2 certainly motoring through that there.
Stage 2.
Big Little are motoring through that Battleship there. Meanwhile, on Dream Team, Ash the Bash is working through the rotations. You got to figure out which dial rotates which, essentially. So it'll be a combination like 1, 2, 4, 3, for example.
Okay,
numbering them out to in. That's just one of the many pieces of information to convey, other than the Greek letters on the perimeter as well. Knowing that offhand will help.
So as you see,
the gems.
Team 4-2 just solved Playfair Cypher. We should note that the teams played on different days, so the rule that applies is based on the day. So obviously the teams chose when they played the bomb, so it's completely up to them.
Up, down, down.
Exactly. Didn't make much of a difference. It just changes the key a little bit. But it is interesting how the date of the bomb. There's a strike on gamepad right there.
First strike on gamepad for Team 4-2.
And of course, the classic keep talking rule. Once you get a strike, the clock starts to accelerate. So that's not a quirk of video editing. That is the clocks drifting slowly further and further apart as Team 4-2 now has to work past that first strike. That early first strike, I should say.
Yeah, we'll see how much or if that cost them at all.
Back out the last 4.
Jewel Vault is resetting on Dream Team's bomb.
Oh, and we just saw a strike on Fizzbuzz on the Green Team side, so maybe not much at all for how much
we'll have that. Well, we'll have that same 8-second gap throughout. Interesting.
Very
now 4-2 is going to work on their Jewel Vault.
3 black and 3 white.
Fizzbuzz.
Fizzbuzz.
Number, Fizzbuzz.
Fizzbuzz being inputted.
Rex,
Number Fizzbuzz is the answer, and there you go.
Stage 5 is a 9.
4-2 gets that solved and checks the Forget-Me-Nots one more time.
And it's going to be particularly tough for our diffusers here, as they have to keep flipping back and forth each time a module is solved to get that Forget-Me-Not number.
Exactly.
Yellow.
Looking at Dream Team, Ash is also having a pretty easy time
Right,
with this
thank you.
battleship. It must.
Rich
I don't think it
says
needed a
6 or
single
7.
radar. If I
Increase
didn't
is a 9.
quite spot it from the
Drake,
beginning,
know
I
your way,
confess. But
please.
you know,
LED
2 of those
is up.
columns are 0,
Arrow
so
is down.
you can water those down
Uniform is to the
immediately.
left. Game
Yeah,
of life for you, right?
that's a good
point.
156. Skip.
And that
1,
battleship is solved now.
3.
So currently 5-2 for
1,
Team
2, 4,
4-2.
5.
It's 5-2 for 4-2.
1,
Hope you're
3,
not.
4. 4. Column totals of
Exactly.
4, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Got it.
Perfect. Okay, Rex.
There's also a game of on the back side of the bomb. There's a
3
game
pink,
of
3
life
white, 3 black.
way, which is that one with the arrow and the green LED, and color
Two
math
blue,
is bottom center
2
of the
red.
back side of the bomb.
Stage 1 moves 4.
So
Okay,
red
that's
subtraction,
it.
so only the
Okay.
color dots on the
3
left
pink,
side will
you said.
apply here.
3 pink, 3
Gotcha.
white.
If it were a green letter, then you would need the ones on the right as well.
Okay, gotcha. 1 moves.
Looks like Ash is getting ready
Moves 3, I think
to
1
submit
moves
or
4.
input his game of
1
life.
moves 4, 2 moves 3.
Very good. Game.
And Team 4-2 is perhaps opening the
3
jewel
moves
vault
1.
now? Oh no, just rotating.
And just to confirm,
I think we're just looking for rotations at
4
this point,
moves
but we'll
step.
see.
Got it.
He's
That's
clicking
one
one of
for
each.
reset.
Yeah, no, but he's hovering
Yeah.
over the
Game of
reset
life,
button,
phase
and that
4.
blue
Know your way,
swirl
please.
means we're resetting now. So.
Down, left, down,
With the
right.
dial rotations, what rotates what in
Rex,
hand?
thank you.
Now
Stage
they've got all
7
that.
and 8.
Is Know Your
Stage
Way
7
just got
and
solved
5.
for Team 4-2.
Game
That's
of
good
life.
because that can be a tricky module sometimes. You have to know
Skip.
up,
Skip.
down, left, and right. It's
Skip.
easy to get turned
Skip.
around with
We
the
should be on
confusing
the
instructions
fifth
on that one.
row.
Well, that's all set.
1, 3, 4. 1, 5.
Input a game of life. Meanwhile, Dream Team's going to work on Jewel
3,
Vault.
4.
Right, and
Totals
4-2's on Game of
are
Life. It's interesting,
3,
you know, the
0,
path
2,
they've each
2,
taken
1,
on this
0.
bomb.
Right, so Dream Team going for the hard module now. So
Yes.
even though they're
Yes.
numerically behind
Stage
right
8 is
now,
an 8.
we'll
Stage
see if
8
that
is a
actually
2.
becomes a factor.
I feel
Got
like
it.
I'm missing a module. I'm not, because there are 2 forget-me-nots. Go
Getting
ahead.
this hard
Rex,
Jewel Vault
north
out of the
and south
way before
is,
4-2 does, the
the
way
3
they've
and
played these
Bravo.
bombs.
And I bet each
Okay.
team is a little bit apprehensive
Gotcha.
after they get their
East and
first strike. You know,
northwest.
you really don't want to get
Lambda
a second one.
and 0.
Oh,
Back
goodness,
to it.
goodness me, I know that feeling. I
West
remember
Gotcha.
east is pi
being on
and
YouTube for
6.
another stream, Skyward stream. I'll shout him out.
Gotcha.
Hello.
Then
And
button X.
I remember the first module I did with him got a strike on algebra, and I was just like, oh, that's
Gotcha.
a real chilling effect.
We're going to be going
So
north.
getting
wheel
it early,
2
they're
first.
both wondering, oh God, what if the other team hasn't gotten one and we're now
Red,
falling
then
further and
purple.
further behind?
Neither.
We can see they're not, but they don't know
Yellow,
that.
then white.
Yeah, they're so neck and neck right now.
Gotcha. Wheel 3 now.
Exactly.
Pink, then red.
It's also interesting that percentage. I'm talking about the top right percentage display on the
We'll
HUD.
be doing
That
wheel 1
is basically a
next.
rough estimate of
black and
how
yellow.
either ahead or behind,
Will be black
according to
and
formulas calculated on difficulty of modules.
Then we're going to be doing wheel 4.
They are right now. So right now the display
four is
thinks
yellow,
that
then
Team
green.
4-2 is slightly ahead of the pace and Dream Team is slightly behind the pace. But of course, that can
Okay.
change on a solved module.
So that'll
So,
be
but it
all
gives you a
of them
little
going
rough
north.
estimate,
It's
perhaps, of
pink, yellow,
comparatively how
black,
each team is doing.
I'm sorry.
Aside from, of course,
Black,
those solve counts in
yellow,
green,
pink,
7-5.
yellow.
You see the scores right now. As we wind down under half the time to go in the bomb.
Freedom of solution check. Shout out.
Forget me nots time.
wait
Yep.
a second.
So Team 4-2 has just this dual vault
Forget
before they can
Nuts
go
is
ahead and
one
solve the
to
Forget
check
Me
what
Nots,
happens.
and
Correct,
it looks like they're about to do it right now.
4, 8, 3.
Here we go.
7,
That's
2,
right, 2 forget me
6,
not. So after
9,
8 solves,
9.
Yes.
4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 9, 9. And number
That's one.
2, please.
3, 6, 9. 2, 0, 5, 1, 8.
Yes.
3, 6, 9, 2, 0, 5, 1, 8.
and that is a solve on Forget Me Not, and they have defused the bomb with 6:05 to go. Team 4-2 has.
That was a great
And Dream
way.
Team, you just saw them
end the
go
final.
past 6:05 right now, so therefore, that first bomb going in favor of Team 4-2.
We're going to watch and see as the Dream Team finishes up.
Exactly.
See how much longer it took them to finish up this same bomb.
Exactly. To Know Your Way and Play Fair Cypher, the two they have remaining on the bomb now.
Know your way.
Know Your Way.
Know Your Way can be a
And
tricky
two
one. It's always when you want to
directions, down, left,
maybe be
down,
tempted to double and
right.
triple check, like I
Down,
said, with the
left,
directional
down,
confusion,
right,
as they input it
correct.
correctly
Forget
here.
Not
So their
are
7th
8
solve.
and 2.
Nice.
Know the work.
And then Play Fair Cypher, the way that works is you have to fill in each of the letters of the alphabet except for I think I and J can be the same, so it's a 5x5 grid. You end up with 25
Just
letters.
call the answer when you're ready, Zach.
But you will have to start with a couple of certain words depending on the day of the week. And like we said, each team starts on a different day of the week, so the words will be slightly different for them. Didn't make much of an impact here.
Charlie, Delta, Alpha.
And you have to fill in all the letters carefully. If you get it wrong, you have to redo
Uh,
it. But here you see the
first one
playfair
first.
is complete, and now they're going to get to work on Forget Me Nots.
483-72699.
Second side.
Okay, that's one good. One more to go.
369-20518.
They're done.
And they do that
426.
flawlessly as well. So there you go, 426, a good time, just knocking it off.
First strike
So
was somewhat early
in
as
4-2,
well.
the first bomb goes to
Yeah, it
them.
felt like a
This,
good time.
even strength bomb, the 5 apiece bomb.
A strong effort by both teams, I must say. I think they both did a really good job there.
Very good. Definitely came down to the wire there. It'll be interesting to see if 2 strikes happen at different times on
Yeah,
a
'cause-
future bomb.
Right? Like, so if the Dream Team had gotten that first strike much later than 4-2, you know, that really could have offset that time difference between the two at the end of the bomb. So, yeah,
It could have made all the difference there.
unfortunately, you can't really plan for those things, but certainly something that really impacts, you know, the outcome of the bomb.
Exactly. So here we go with bomb number 2. It's the team 4-2 out in front, 1-0 right now.
And this is going to be the bomb that has mostly the Dream Team's modules. 7 of theirs and 3 of Team 4-2's. So we'll see if maybe that, you know, tilts the odds in the Dream Team's favor.
You'd hope so. A power play of sorts.
Okay.
Just for your eyes only.
Okay, decent
Here
bombs
we go.
happened. Not to say that the modules
Looking
are
around, the lights are going to click on.
No,
The
forget
timers
that.
are rolling, and there
Tap
is
test.
a
4 batteries.
This does
2
not look like an
holders,
easy bomb, I'll
lit
tell you that
November,
much.
Sierra Alpha.
Yeah, I see
lit
light speed, I
Tango,
see the
Romeo,
cube as well.
November, TRN.
Oh my
and
goodness.
1 port plate
Those are
consisting of
big
RCA and an RJ.
Polyhedral maze, some
Serial
people
number
get tripped
is
up by
Juliet
that.
Echo 7, Papa 9.
Yeah, it's a tough one trying to navigate your way through the 3-dimensional solid of sorts.
And there's that 2 gridlocks?
Yellow, black,
Wow.
yellow.
2
Purple,
gridlocks, and like we said, that was one of the
yellow,
overlap
and
modules we
the
had.
cube
So was
for
Forget Me
you,
Not for that matter.
Catnip.
So,
Yep.
like I was
We
saying
have
earlier, having that
wires
matching
are
module
red,
there
orange, purple.
takes that advantage away a
Button
bit.
colors are
And it seems like the Dream Team's
three
going right ahead
oranges,
and giving their
a silver
expert
or
all the
grey,
information they're going to need
2
to solve
purples, 1 green,
the cube, which
1
is
red.
quite time intensive,
Submit
including all
button
those
is
wires, all
grey,
those symbols,
3 moons.
and the rotation.
Symbols
numbers on
the
that
left we have,
cube.
Exactly. So 3
flag,
pieces of information just for the first
dotted C,
cipher, and then
ball,
each of those
bird,
weird displays.
pinwheel,
I'm not sure if you can see
globe,
at this resolution, but that's
meteor,
8
coffee stain.
different symbols
Along the
on each of
bottom
those
we
2
have
displays.
filled in
Those will
star-
create 2
filled
more
in
ciphers.
circle,
Instead,
2 birds,
3 ciphers, and then
arms
that'll
up,
give you
pinwheel,
letters to press for each of the
tunnel,
8 complicated
pinwheel,
stages
and arms up.
of the cube.
And it looks like Team
on
4-2
the
is
cube,
doing
we have numbers.
their own
Top
sort of
is 1,
diffuser-intensive module
below
right
that
now.
is a 1.
That
round to the
gridlock
right of
as
that
they
is
scroll
1,
through the
round to
pages
the right of
trying
that
to
is
find,
5. Round to the right of 5
you know,
is a
which
4,
aspects
and
of
the
the
bottom is
4x4 grid they've
5.
already touched
I'll get
upon.
the terms in a moment.
Exactly, presumably.
Zach,
So what I assume happened here is whoever's
Delta,
playing
Delta,
Gridlock
Delta.
right now,
Bravo Delta through the bottom.
they're interacting
just
with them,
that.
and the other experts will probably be going to work
Correct.
on the other
Forget me
modules.
nots.
So
We don't have
they
forget
have to
me
work
not.
accordingly. Okay, the
Adjacent
gamepad answer.
letters are Foxtrot, Bravo, Kilo, Echo, Sierra,
Team has a
Victor,
solve, and now
Golf,
4-2 does as well,
Delta,
getting the gamepad
Juliet,
the first
Alpha,
time.
Whiskey, Tango.
Gamepad.
Gamepad.
Up, down, down.
And here comes the Dream Team
Yep.
following suit.
Alpha, up,
I
down.
hope that's the same
Alpha, up, down.
code that
is
4-2
good.
entered. Oh, it
Will
is.
be a gridlock for you, Elias. Charlie 1 is a blue star. Next, adjacent repeat is Foxtrot, Bravo, Kilo, Echo, Sierra, Victor, Golf, Delta, Juliet, Alpha, Whiskey, Tango. I'm trying to get your rotations for you, Cat. Here we go, resetting. Counterclockwise. Tip forward. Tip forward.
Okay, so
Tip
there's the
forward
strength
again.
there. And this is going to be one of those tough modules because
tip to the left.
adjacent letters, it doesn't give you any feedback at
Tip
all. I mean, they're
forward.
just going to have to check every single
Should
letter
be
to see, have I missed an
Complications
adjacency
on
somewhere?
numbers.
Yeah,
The way
that's
it
gonna
works is for
faces.
yeah,
Green
go ahead.
faces
No,
are
go ahead.
1. Below
I was going to
that
say
is
it's
a
going to cost
1, to
them
the right of that is a
some
1,
time, not
to the right
only
of that is a
because of the
5,
strike, but because
to the
they're
right
going
of
to
that
have to
is a
redo that
4,
entire
and
module,
the
essentially.
red face is a 5.
And Team 4-2 struck
Figure
first
out what's to do.
on the first bomb, but now you see the time starting to climb to about a 7 or 8 second difference there, and climbing. Let's see how much it climbs this
Gridlock
time.
for
It
you then.
stopped at an 8-second gap.
Delta
Last bomb.
4.
Delta 4 empty.
Bravo 2.
Bravo 2.
Color math is good though.
Bravo 1.
Green hex next.
Now light speed, you see here, there's a bunch of pieces of information to read out here.
Alpha 4,
And a bunch of
green
outputs as well. You
diamond
gotta
next.
read the compass
Jason.
pointing the symbol, the star date,
Bravo, Victor,
antimatter,
Delta,
dilithium, and shields. And then input the
Correct.
warp
Colour map
speed,
for
find
you
your
then, Zach,
commanding
is
officer,
white, black,
the planet
white,
you're
grey,
laying in course for,
red,
and then of
Mike.
course
Continuing
the
on.
all-important encryption code and the launch sequence.
Alpha 3.
Alpha 3 up to the left.
Delta
Now you saw that red light
Green
flicker on
diamond
00.
next.
Most of you know this, but on 00, the
Delta
idea is to
1.
find a
Arrow
submit
down.
button, and it doesn't actually give you a
3.
strike
Green triangle
unless the display
next.
shows 0 and this weird
Alpha 2.
glitchy thing
Alpha
after.
2
If you hit the
red
submit button at
hex
any other
next.
time, it will flash up
Charlie
the red
2.
light and even buzz to
Charlie
you, but
2,
it's not a
arrow
real
up.
strike. So you can see 4-2 still
Charlie 4.
only has their one
Empty.
original strike from adjacent letters.
And I just wanted to note that they
I'm sorry,
did just
Bravo
solve the
4.
adjacent
Bravo
letters and gave them that
4,
first strike.
yellow triangle
Very
next.
good.
Bravo
Still no
3.
strikes in 00.
Bravo 3, blue star next.
And that one really throws off experts. You know, you're
Bravo
you're
3
in,
gridlock.
doing your own work, and then you hear that
Gridlock for you.
buzz from the
Colour
strike
map?
sound. It really can
Yeah.
Just
throw you
white,
for a
black,
loop if
white,
you're
gray,
not
right?
prepared for it.
Yes.
Then again, it's been
Magenta,
it's almost a classic nowadays for experts to mutter, finding my
Magenta,
strike, found my strike.
orange,
Magenta gray.
magenta, grey.
And so we'll note the team.
Fuzak,
We've
get
seen the
ready
same
for
amount of
double.
real-time passes. So Team 4-2 has more
Gridlock
modules
for you
solved
then
right now. Oh, it's
is,
actually tied right now.
Blue star,
But interesting to note that there's
Delta
about
1
30 or so
next.
seconds
Double
difference
O, we have
between
20,
Team 4-2 and the
45
Dream
and
Team because of
glitchy.
that strike.
Yeah, but you notice the percentage gap there. Again, the percentage of rough estimate of the
Glitchy
how
no
ahead or behind you
No
are of the
submit
modules. And
next,
it looks as though,
1658,
according to the mathematics that go into this percentage, Dream Team has a slight edge here.
22 glitch.
Slight edge on time as well, should be noted. So that's part of the equation. As they get their sixth solved now, and now they're
We
numeric.
have a series of diamonds and kites. I'm currently on a kite. Face of 1 going to 29. Gridlock.
I don't think we've seen the
Alpha
Dream Team
4,
focus
red
much
star
on
next.
light speed yet. So it'll be interesting to see when they
Bravo
take on that.
Bravo 4.
Meanwhile, 4-2
blue
putting
hex
their
next.
commanding officer now. They've done all that.
Bravo 3.
Going back to
Bravo
Gridlock. This is
3
interesting. They're
empty.
trying to juggle both light speed and Gridlock.
Charlie
Two
3.
fairly
Charlie
interactive
3
modules.
empty.
Now we're going to engage. It'll be about 10 seconds before we find out
Delta 2.
Delta
whether we
2
really have
empty.
liftoff.
Charlie 2.
Or however the
Charlie
saying goes.
2,
And they do
arrow up.
indeed.
We do.
However the saying
Charlie
goes. I'm not
1.
I'm not really a
Charlie 1
Trekkie.
blue
I'm sorry,
hex
folks.
Beam us up.
Polyhedral.
No, I don't know if that's actually what
Find
happens.
0.
Find
I'm
zero,
pretty sure
yes.
that's not what the ship does.
Then
Well, misery loves
Yep.
company anyway.
cross,
Yep.
cross.
Polyhedral maze
Yep.
does have walls, much
Cross.
like the classic
Yep.
vanilla maze from
Cross.
the original Keep Talking game
Yep.
has. So you want to be
Okay.
careful about that. But they've made it. The two
Um,
numbers match, and that's a green
there's,
light for Dream Team.
Light speed for you then.
Yes.
7 solved, and
Yellow
now they're having a
each.
good light speed.
chain down
Yeah,
to
this
the
is
left.
quite close.
Stardate
See the time gap growing to about a minute
36,192.1.
apart, though.
Antimatter 79,
4-2 goes to work on
dilithium
Gridlock.
57,
And they found it right there.
shields 41.
And there's their 8th solve.
Gridlock.
Say it one more time. Sorry.
Stardate
Now
is
Polymaze is getting solved in a
36192.
jiffy. Maybe.
0.1 on the end, thank you. Gridlock, continue.
Actually, they were finding their initial.
On page 5.
Page 5,
Location.
yes.
Exactly.
Charlie
They were saying,
4.
hey, find
Charlie
50 for
4,
me
arrow
from
up
wherever you
to the
started.
right.
There was no wall, so you can just
Delta
wander around in
3.
that first move.
Blue star next.
Now you have to carefully convey it. One way to
Alpha
do that
2.
is like
Alpha 2 empty.
2 clockwise, for example.
Alpha 1.
2 clockwise from the
Blue
previous edge.
star
You count that
next.
many number of edges around.
Gridlock at Alpha 1.
And there you go. You still
Correct.
solve Polymaze.
Yeah, just has that cube remaining
Nothing
for them.
for you.
So does Dream Team
Unless
and
you
the
want a
light
mirror
speed.
on
And the light speed.
Yeah,
So left the
I'll
two
do that.
daunting modules
okay,
for
it was
last.
yellow down to the left,
made by Royal
36192.1. 79, 57, 41. That's antimatter dilithium shields order.
And we'll
Yellow
see
coffee.
if
Yellow coffee, sorry, yellow
to
coffee, yes.
solve the rest of their modules fast enough to sort of overcome the deficit by that strike at the beginning.
Light speed plus first
Exactly.
aid
So
by
if they get
speed.
done first, you'll see their
Sorry?
timer will stop. A Dream Team start to
Well,
tick down.
two,
And we'll
cube,
be
I
having to
mean.
watch
This
for
is
a
2
minute and a half, an
so
excruciating minute
hands
and a
up,
half, to see if Dream
filled
Team
in
is
circle,
taking
Yeah.
advantage of the fact that they've
Ball,
gone strikeless
the
so
check
far.
mark.
Okay.
So the Dream Team puts the submit button. You see that little spinning red dial over there. Ideally, one of the
Correct.
lights goes green, and it just
See,
did.
stage
But that's
2
one of
is
8
tunnels.
stages. Now they're going to work through the
Uh,
rest.
Pepsi,
Yeah, I was going to say it's not over by a long shot.
C,
Exactly.
the dotted C,
Mm-hmm.
pinwheel,
Walter's hovering over their
and
cube as well.
moons.
Okay. Anybody can interrupt any time if they've got something.
I can almost hear the sound that the cube is
Stage two,
making in my head.
Stage 3, the same but without
As we just
moon.
watched.
Can I repeat?
Staying without
Exactly.
moon, but it had tunnels and pinwheels, yes?
As long as it makes the happy beep
tunnel,
at the end, right?
Pinwheel,
You always want happy beeps.
dotted
Happy.
C, and the.
I think there's a movie I watched
And
about
Pepsi.
penguins.
Okay, that should be good.
Okay.
Correct.
Messing around with the
Stage
resistors
4,
there.
hands
It's like
up,
a spider's web
Okay.
over there
filled
now.
in circle,
I don't know what's going on.
the ball,
Yep.
the
Pretty
check
picture.
mark,
I appreciate that.
I'm just
Plus
playing
gray.
around because you
That's
can't
anything
strike
great.
unless you,
Okay.
Yeah, of course. You're
hit check.
Connect all the things.
On
Correct.
piano keys, you can also just play
Same
the piano
without
keys after
gray.
you solve them. Like,
Same with
So-
blow you
that.
up.
So that was filled in a
Absolutely.
ball, yeah?
hands up,
4 stages
filled
done
in
on the cube for
circle,
Dream Team,
ball,
and Team 4-2
check
has
mark.
Yeah.
almost achieved the completionist objective on resistors. Come on, Big Little, you got this.
Stage 6 is a Pepsi, pinwheel,
I think if you do a certain
coffee
combination of that
stain,
with enough wires, you can
plus
actually
red.
solve the bomb completely without doing the rest of the
Okay.
modules.
Imagine if.
No, I know that.
Just overheat it. Dream Team inputting their 6th
Correct.
stage now, and they got it. 6 stages
7
down.
is
Now Team 4 only now inputting their
Pepsi,
first stage, you see there.
pinwheel, coffee
4-2 is
stain
time starting
plus
to become a
orange,
concern. Under 3 minutes on one strike, that
That's
accelerated
it. Plus
timer.
orange. Just...
And this is a tough bomb to
Yeah,
solve in the
plus
amount of time
orange.
given, so
Okay.
strike certainly is
and for stage
You know.
8,
alarming.
One moment.
Exactly.
Yes.
1.25 speed
And
on striking, of course.
And you can see
not,
what stage they're on based on the number of green
nut,
triangles they have on that spinning wheel in
hamburger,
the top right of
Okay.
their module. So you
dotted
see that
C,
the Dream Team
Okay.
only has one red
meteor.
triangle remaining in that last
So all but that.
stage of the cube.
Submitting.
There we go. I think that's the 8th stage inputted. It's a tricky one. You have to do everything except what it asks for. on
That's
that
all
last
good.
one. It's
Light speed.
different, but they got it.
All right. Now let's look for batteries.
3 stages on the cube for 4-2.
Okay, hopefully one of their experts, I assume, has been solving
no.
this while they've been waiting on the cube.
Vandrus 4.
So,
Yes, Evandros 4 is there.
Input received.
Do you have Telfer W?
No.
Kim H.
Team
Ensign.
knows they've got to hustle right now. They're
Yes,
trying
I
to punch
have
that in
Kim
as
H.
quickly as they can.
Input received.
Let's see if they get
Alright,
this solved
then
in,
we
especially
have
with like the
Ensign
time it
lower,
takes.
so your encryption should be
I need a warp speed first.
warp 5.
Having a nomenclature for those weird symbols as well is also
Input
important
received.
as well.
5, Vandross 4, Kim H, and encrypt
It's hard for me to
code.
see on the screen here, unfortunately, but
3940.
like what we call
410.
that ribbon or
Hold out
Pluto.
340.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3940.
The ribbon going
correct.
from, like, northwest to southeast, that would be
3840 is
flat.
correct. Engaging.
Input
but I
received.
confess there are some like symbolic coordinates that reuse this.
Team
symbols.
4-2's under 45 seconds. They have
Correct,
one
done.
stage left.
301.
To go.
That ominous flashing red light.
Oh, and the Dream Team
At
was
least it's only at
trying.
the end there that we got the code wrong.
Yeah.
So.
But they solved the problem.
Well,
Yes,
Dream
they-
Team has just solved this, so that is 301, and Dream Team is going to tie this match up.
Let's see
Let's
if
see
Team
if
4-2
4-2 gets it.
makes it. Jinx.
The result of this game 2 is decided, and the match is now tied
Defused
up
bomb.
one apiece.
1942.
So,
Nice.
They did it.
20 seconds left to go.
19
19
seconds.
seconds.
42.
Woo, all right.
Nice.
So,
Close matchup.
Nice job,
And
Trey.
we'll
Yeah.
notice if it hadn't been for that strike, the Dream Team still would have, I think, been slightly ahead there. because they solved the video in real time faster, but really close.
Exactly.
Really close.
Well, we have a competitive finals on our hands, don't we now, Moon?
I know 1-1. This last bomb is really going to take it.
Exactly. So now we have quite a number from 4-2's heavyweight lineup there. I believe now the advantage shifts to, I confess
Team
I've actually
4-2. Team 4-2 has 7 of their modules and only 3 of the Dream Teams, I believe, is the makeup.
Ooh, okay. Well, this is for the perfect record defense for Team 4-2, 21-0 coming into this. We'll see if that advantage helps them hold
Well,
on.
now
to
they're
this.
22-1. So
22-1. That's right. Well, they've lost that certainly, but
and once again, just to say the players on each team, just so they get recognized before we finish up. The Dream Team has Ash the Bash, Catnip, Elias, Zakil, and 4-2 has Big Little Me, Draket, Rex Kicks, Ryking, and Epicness, who's on the team but not experting in these particular bombs.
not on the finals anyway. And if you're wondering, Dream Team is just, a team of the dream, right? And then, just as far as I can tell. I confess if there's a bigger thing to that, I might have been out of the loop on that one. And then 4-2 is actually a reference to a modded module called Crazy Talk. I won't say exactly what it is, but if you want to go look at the manual and see the phrase associated with 4/2 on your own time.
All right, well, I'm really looking forward to this last one. I sort of feel the tension. It's palpable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If
Of
you're
course,
new
if someone
to
wants to
the
join in the world of
if you're
mods,
new,
all the
how the
manuals
fuck
are
did you find my
available on
channel?
katane.timwe.de, which I'm sure someone on Twitch can
Welcome
post the link
to
to.
the league.
And that also has a
last
link
bomb.
to our
Welcome to the
Keep
end
Talking
of the
Discord
league.
as well.
Hi,
You can play
Daniel.
both
You
the
may be
classic
related
game
to
and
watch
the
this.
modded game as
Doing
well.
the bomb.
If anyone's new and hasn't been a part of the community yet, we'd love to see you there. Here we go with the deciding bomb of this match.
Let's see what we got.
And
We
got
already seen this one.
Oh, that's
is-
right. We got to show this first bomb over here. Here we go. Now we're
Whew. Okay,
off
I'm
and
seeing
running,
a
I
Rubik's
believe.
Cube.
Once we hit play.
Screen is for my own zone.
Let's kill Biggie.
Okay,
Don't kill me.
for all the marbles.
See a 3D tunnels on that bomb. That's got a huge skill curve there.
Let me know.
Oh my goodness! And
Mhm.
jewel vaults.
3 batteries.
A
in
Rubik's
2
Cube.
holders.
Because why not put a Rubik's Cube
RJ
on
and a
on a bomb?
parallel
Sure.
on 3 port plates. One of them is empty.
The
And a code
empty module
of
is a blind alley. If
Papa
anyone's wondering, there are
17.
3 such modules
Zulu,
with
Zulu,
absolutely no display
Zulu,
whatsoever.
Mike,
But blind
9.
alley is the
That's
one.
Papa 17.
And
Zulu,
this one
Mike,
comes
9.
courtesy of the
Rex
Dream
is
Team.
1
On
of
this
the
one.
0.
And I think
Who's
we've had a
got the
gamepad on
first
each
Sassy.
bomb so far.
Red, green,
So
green. Coin, bomb,
here we
coin.
have it again,
What
making
a
its way in the finals.
Red King, Crucial, Blind Alley.
What a fluke! Because it's only Dream
Drake.
Team, so good
Rubik's
at that.
Cube is red, blue,
Forget Me Not does
green,
make an appearance as well.
orange,
Remember, we're checking
white.
that red keypad after every solve because that number is going to augment with every single solve.
I get
And one of the experts has to take it all down and do the calculations.
Silly Slots is, one of the an older module, but certainly one that
TP
can be time
empty
intensive.
1. Pac-Man
Or not.
empty 2.
Or not, right? It depends. It could be
Pac-Man
4 stages. It could be
empty
1.
Arrow
Or if you're at the
wavy
end and you just
1.
want to, sort of
Triangle
hope
filled in
that you're going to
1.
guess it correctly, you can do that too.
Right, you could
Keep the slots.
YOLOing is the
Nice.
verb we hear
Thank you.
sometimes,
Get me on
but,
stage
I'm
two
just
as
taking a
second to
guess
get you on
towards
And
the
it's
Jabba
stage
then.
1 keep from
We
the Dream
have
Team. So
Delta.
No kidding.
with
All
Gamma.
right, so this was going to fly
We
by. Let's see if
have
4-2 gets that as well. They do, of course, because it's a
with
duplicated bomb. So
Mu.
that
We
module pretty much
have,
dissolves into nothingness, actually. So
XI with
all the focus going
Sigma,
to those other
and we
modules.
have Omega with PHI Phi.
and it'll be interesting how they do the
One,
set.
two,
Sometimes the
three,
diffuser
four.
can do it. Sometimes you have to read out all those bits of information. The shape,
Wheel 2,
the shading,
Wheel 1,
the dot count. But sometimes it's just too much, and if your diffuser knows what he or she is doing,
Wheel 2.
they can, perhaps solve it on
So
their
I
own.
presume Wheel 4
Well,
will
if you know
turn
the
itself.
the card game set, there is an extra
Abundance
wrinkle
we
that you do need
have
the manual
is,
for, and that's that the shapes also have
looks
either
like a
all in the
tie
same row or
between
column, or
yellow
all in different rows and
and
columns.
blue.
So
blue.
it's a little 3x3 gridded
Just
shapes
checking.
there. So there's one little extra wrinkle.
yes,
so
we
it's,
have a tie
unless the
between
diffuser has
yellow
that table
and
memorized,
blue
they can't
abundancy.
quite do it on their own.
And you got
Six.
you got forget me not
Keep
2
going.
7.
So
Yes.
Team
back
4-2
left,
solving
you should
their
be done.
Rubik's Cube right now.
It's looking
Looking
good.
to go one step away
Correct,
from it.
thank you. Rex stage 4 is an 8. Great, go
Yeah,
to
you
3
can
tunnels,
theoretically
go
solve
second,
Rubik's
going
Cube like a
back.
normal one, but it's really
Left,
impractical
right,
because
left, right.
the way the camera
Up, A,
rotation
left,
works in a
left.
Keep Talking Bomb is you can't see one of the
Left, left.
sides of the module
Correct,
really
thank you.
well, so
Stage 5 is 6.
it's tough to really do
He's
in
going to code
practice.
quality Rex.
This is also one of those
Sharp,
strikeless modules, so you
Charlie,
can't actually get a
Delta,
strike on the
Echo.
Rubik's Cube. So
Game left.
if it
Four,
scares you, don't worry too much.
2,
You can practice it without
2,
blowing up your bomb.
4.
Well, no strikes just yet, but Team
Um,
4-2 is up
Game
4-2. I finally got the chance to say
3,
it.
4, 5. 3, 4, 5.
So far, so good
Skip.
here. It's the
Skip.
game of life here.
4,
Dream
5.
Team,
4,
we have a
5.
set there.
4,
Yes.
5.
Yes.
Skip. Column totals
Yes, we do.
are 0,
That looks good.
0, 2, 5, 5,
And you'll
0.
notice the order they did
Five.
things. Like Blind Alley is one that takes a particularly long amount of time. So 4-2 got that out of the way
And
early.
also
but it
there's
seems
a
like
core
the Dream Team is
qualities
sort of
which is
waiting until it's given out some perhaps harder
Echo 7
modules.
sharp 5.
Then again, so to speak, reading the module isn't that
E7
hard. Just say
sharp
like,
5.
"Hey, I have a blind alley," and read.
Thank you.
Exactly.
It's one of
Much
those
diffuser
Gamepad.
communication there.
right,
contrast with
left,
Jewel
right.
Vault,
Left,
which
right, left,
is
right.
anything but that.
Up, alpha, left, left.
Up alpha left.
Okay,
left.
the gamepad,
Correct.
we saw
Forget
strike
me
on
not
that
5
before
is
from
6.
one of the teams, but nope, no strike here.
Thing.
Yeah.
Right twice.
3D
gives me
tunnels, like I
chain.
was saying, that's a tricky one because you have to know which way up you're
Get your code quality.
facing as you
Then
fly
nothing
through that
is
confusing
so left
3 by
one,
3 by
left
3
twice gets
matrix.
me the globe,
And find the symbol, which may or may not be apparent. There is a
And then
symbol
down
in each
once
of
from the
those intersections there,
Set
but they're
Down
not
once
all
from there
visible.
to the lock.
Yeah,
And not just
I'm
one
looking at the
symbol,
wing.
you've got to get
Set.
3.
Right, stay on
3
the lock.
stages to the module,
Yeah.
that's right.
Set.
Shirt wavy 2, X filled 2, Pac-Man empty 2.
Oh, strike on set right there from Team 4-2.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Code qualities.
I'm trying to spy on Team Dream
starting with,
Team's
Foxtrot
solution there
Sharp.
because the bomb is
Plus
identical. remember.
5, plus 2, plus
It
3.
looks like
should
they
have
hit one in the
become
top.
1.
Team 4-2 hit maybe that shirt in the top right, but
Correct,
I
thank
don't
you.
think that's
Stage 7 is a
correct.
7.
Yeah, they have sort of an L shape
F
at the
sharp
top left.
7 sus.
middle left,
We'll look at that in a
center.
moment. Just remember that. You don't do 3D
Well,
tunnels, do you?
well, okay then.
Okay, you'll have to wait then.
So now Dream Team slightly calculated. You see
Wheel
that percentage
3,
and
what was the color again?
like one module behind, but perhaps
I believe, let me check.
with the
No
time
silver,
advantage now,
clear,
maybe
but
slightly
it's
ahead.
big,
We'll
isn't
see.
it?
Wheel 3.
yeah, well, really,
To
it'll
west.
come down to
Correct,
how,
yeah, keep the
how long
sun.
it takes them to do the rest of their
Left
modules.
Yeah. I'm also wondering with
Correct.
3D tunnels, we'll see if the Dream Team is also
is one.
good on this one. Team 4-2 is clearly
Yeah.
confident, and I know 3D tunnels is a tough one, but we will see.
3 moves.
No doubt they'll know it's coming. They've had ample time to practice it as well.
4 moves just itself. 3D tunnels.
That's
Left,
getting
left,
worked on
up,
by both teams. This
right,
game of life
left,
solves from Dream
submit.
Team, and we're tied module-wise as well now.
Keep going.
Wow.
Thank
what
you.
was
Rex
that?
stage
This
8
is
a
really
5,
close.
pressing
Neck
reset. Drake, please shadow
Yeah,
set for
4-2, your
me.
front side of the bomb's all
Fix
done.
it.
Okay, go ahead, fixed.
Just down to a...
Star
Wait,
wavy
is it? No, forget
0,
not. Of course.
X filled 2,
Jewel Vault
TP
set
empty
maybe
1.
on that one.
Correct, thank you. Rex stage 9 is a 0.
Okay,
North and
Okay.
south
they got the set right.
is aerial and
There we
gravity.
go.
Then
Solve the
west
problem.
and northeast is
So the time gap continuing to
glasses,
widen here,
Hang on a
but
second, go
8
a little
modules
slower.
now. So it's just the
Very
Jewel
long
Vault and
game, gotcha.
Forget-Me-Not for Team
Come on.
4-2.
West and
They solve it pretty
northeast
quickly.
is
Dream Team's going to be in
glasses and
huge
3
trouble right
between
now.
us.
Sorry.
It's gonna be
Order
really
because-
close. I think. As soon as
We'll
the
have to
Jewel Vault
start
is
that one
solved,
again.
they can just. I'm sure they're gonna
Elias,
zip through and into that Forget-Me-Not
tunnels for
in
you.
a matter of
Just gonna get you
seconds. So.
something.
Exactly.
Directly up is the glow.
I'm trying to think
Directly
here.
down is the chain.
You saw Dream Team hit that pink glow. I believe that means the limit of moves has been
Up
reached.
and
So
to the right
maybe they didn't
is
get the
padlock.
rotations quite right there. But that's you saw it resetting there, and the compass rose
Right
rotating
and
around.
forward is the target.
It's Team 4-2
Hopefully that's
eyeing
enough.
their Jewel Vault again.
Jewel Vault.
Wheel 3, silver.
And I wonder what's going
Pink.
on the Dream
Pink,
Team's
west.
3D tiles.
Yes.
They've sort of stopped
Thank you.
an empty
Sorry,
space.
I
Not
didn't
really
hit
on a
the
symbol,
reset
which I would
button
expect if
previously.
they were
That's why we
looking
ran out
for.
of moves.
That's the hard room. In fact, perhaps they haven't been satisfied with the
If you
loops
want to
they're
give me the
going
first
through. It's
symbol
tough to
for
explain through the tunnels on the
3D
fly, but
tunnels, I'll
perhaps they didn't get the
It
information they
is
needed, so they
wind.
stopped them at the
Thank
center
you.
heart room. Everyone
Yeah,
recognizes
first
that
off
one
now.
because it's got all the exits
that was the
left,
second
right,
one
and
just
forwards.
did. Blue and white.
And just awaiting further instructions, I
blue.
think.
Oh, maybe that's their strategy. Just go back to the
And
heart room.
finally, the fourth
Yeah.
dial should
Just like
be
Legends of the Hidden Temple. I don't know if anyone's ever seen
black
that
then
show.
blue.
It'll be blue. So
Great
it'll
game
be
show.
blue, pink, blue.
Team 4-2 spinning their dials away here. We'll see if they
I see Catnip
Yes.
riding in the field, broadcasting strategy.
Yes, that's
So
it.
I guess maybe we hit the nail on the head there.
F#7 sus was it?
Submit.
Oh, strike on Jewel Vault.
I tried on Jewel, and that's going to cost them a lot of time to
Yeah, I know.
No,
With
it's
the
just
animation.
wait.
Forget me
moving
not.
us
Eight
around
No, it
is
does
again.
not.
five.
Trust
Oh,
me.
good luck finding the error, too.
And forget me not. 9 is a 0.
It's 8 to 8
Pretty
now.
tough.
Abundant.
Down
Each
right
team.
back.
I have
Down, right,
already
back.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
Yellow.
Next
Crack
is
their Jewel
sun.
Vault now. Oh my goodness.
9.
It's really
Should
close.
be yellow. Back down. Unless you have a
I don't know
black
what
shirt,
stage
it's fine,
the
unless you have
Dream
4
Team is.
something. That should be
3D
west.
tunnels, but if they're close.
Down is that one.
And-
And then microchip.
So I'm just now,
The wheels in the right order because everything ended up in the right place.
unless you get lost again, you
right
should be able to
front.
navigate once you've found your way.
Give me instructions on that one.
Right, up, left.
Thank you. That's correct.
And
Forget
they
me not.
got
Okay.
forget me.
0, 8,
Just forget me not
7,
here.
9,
Again?
7, 1, 5, 1, 6.
Yoda, the eye of
And
the
they did it!
the face
6:26 remaining, 10 solves,
That
and
was-
Team
that
4-2
was
has
my
less
bad.
time than that. Dream Team,
East is
congratulations, the
Okay.
Catane
And
season
northwest is the
lead.
circle with the line.
Wow, congratulations, the Dream
No,
Team.
northwest is the
As
we
orange.
watch
I've
forward
got
to-
the dot.
Please
Then
go
the
ahead,
east
please do.
is the uniform.
That's where things got wrong.
Team
Okay.
Northeast
4-2
is
complete.
the 3 of the penis. and west
Lightning
is
action
the
to the end there,
glasses.
but accuracy sees the day. No
Gotcha.
strikes and 6.5 minutes
Southwest,
remaining.
southeast is the butt and
Just
the
a
fancy
well
pea.
done
3.
amount tough monster from
Okay, there's where a mistake
to being
was.
able to adapt to that challenge. Just a great match overall, and both teams have done
okay.
really well.
Let's do wheel.
Yeah, I
3,
100% echo that sentiment.
it
You know,
should
these are the
be
two teams who are really doing
pink
a
to the
great job at
west.
handling these
We got that one
rather
right.
difficult
It's
bombs.
the other one that we got.
And
Wheel 2 that we
not
got
to mention
wrong.
the added pressure that this is
Purple then
you know,
black.
the finale, and these are the last 3 bombs that these two teams are doing for the entire
Green
season.
then
So,
yellow.
Green.
bravo to them for making it this far.
Exactly.
Then the last 2 should be the same. 1 should be blue and 4 should be blue.
Blue, green, pink, blue. Out west. Confirm? Before I press switch.
Yes. Yes.
Correct. When it submits, I'll have to let it up.
Excellent.
3 minutes.
087. I'm sorry, you're not ready yet. You'll tell me when you're ready.
Now.
Okay,
087.
forget me not.
971.
Forget me not, and we can
516.
close the books on season 2,
Correct.
and there it is solved.
That's
in no
from
time at all, of
these,
course.
2 minutes, 37 seconds.
2.5 minutes remaining.
Whew. That was an interesting one, that one.
And I'd of
Especially
course like to
these
thank
two.
our host for the evening and
Yes,
organizer of
We defuse it.
Minutes, 37 seconds.
Competitive League Season 2 and Season 1 for that matter, Elias, who hopefully will rejoin us momentarily.
It'd be great to hear from you, Elias5891. What a well-organized thing here. It's a shame I couldn't be a part of it. Hopefully I'll get to be a part of it if there's maybe another one on the horizon, but no pressure, right? You know?
No pressure, but
we had so much
some
fun with this
runs.
one, right? You know?
No, that's 100% right. And speaking as a competitor myself from earlier in the season, you know, it was good fun. So I really encourage everyone, if there is a next season, to sign up, stay committed, and, you know, have fun by keep talking and not exploding.
And exactly. And if anyone wants to join along here, we've got our Discord, the Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes Discord, and the repository of manual. Choose your words, Yabba guy. The repository of manual pages contained timwe.de. Try those out, download the mods for yourself, and maybe you too will be live on Twitch playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Until then, I suppose we'll sign off here, Moon?
I suppose so. Unless Elias returns soon, I think this is a good place to own.
Hey. Oh, please, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. A rematch in the finale.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be tense.
Apparently, I was mute, so to repeat that for the audience,
I enjoyed hearing that.
I enjoyed hearing it too.
Yes. Next week we will have the EFM finals. That's Drake T, who was a member of 4-2, versus Labossel. The two go in undefeated aside from their previous matchup. So we will see how they fare against each other. We also have Vanilla Team Finals, should be finishing up this week and will also be visible next week. That is between the Dream Team, which is a shortened version of the Dream Team, versus the Ariana Grande Fan Club team. So that'll be good to see how those two do. And since you all did mention future seasons, with this stuff wrapping up right before the U.S. Thanksgiving, and then we've got Christmas coming in December, we're going to, wrap up season 2 here in the next couple weeks, ride out the holidays, and then come January, I would say keep an eye on the Contain Discord or the Contain League Discord, and expect to see some stuff about season 3 as we get close to the end of the holidays and start into January.
Sounds exciting. Well, I can't wait to watch these other two league wrap-ups and prepare myself for season 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely hope that anybody who is thinking about it, it's. I mean, as somebody who was eliminated in EFM before getting to the semifinals, it's fun, even if you don't do all that well, because you get to explore different modules maybe you wouldn't have. It's fun to have the occasional competitive bit without it always being like that. So definitely something if you have any interest in. Feel free to sign up when sign-ups open come January.
And the competitive league has its own Discord server, is that right?
It does. I believe a link was posted earlier, but I'll put another link here in the Twitch chat here in just a moment.
Sounds good.
Whew, I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I definitely feel it too. Well, with that, I would like to thank Moon and Yabba Guy for being excellent commentators, much better than I was last season. I'm very glad you all were able to join me. Thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate it.
Hey, that's on YouTube too if you guys want to watch.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Moon, thank you so much. Elias, thank you. And thank you all of you on Twitch watching out there. Appreciate it very much.
Indeed. If you want some more Contain action, I will mention that YouTube channel The Great Berate may or may not be resuming their stream here shortly. They kind of cut off because they kind of cut off not to interrupt the league stream. But I believe they're getting back to some viewer bombs, or had planned to. Trying to find out if they are. If they're not, they are not. Okay. Thank you, Drake. I appreciate the info on that. Well, in that case, then I will leave you to go explore to your heart's desire elsewhere.
Happy containing!
Thank you guys for watching. Have an excellent evening.
Good night, everyone.